the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Right Honourable Minister of State for Asia and the Pacific of the Government of the United Kingdom, Honourable Members of the British Parliament, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. May I now request the band of the Brigade of Gorkhas to play national anthems of Nepal and the United Kingdom. I request you all to rise for the national anthems. Thank you very much. I'd now like to request the Ambassador of Nepal to the United Kingdom, His Excellency Dr. Durga Bahadur Subedi, to deliver his welcome speech.
Right Honourable Prime Minister, Madam Radhika Sakya, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Nepal, Honourable Mr. Pradeep Kumar Gyawali, Minister of State for Asia and the Pacific of the United Kingdom, Right Honourable Mark Field, Honourable Chief Advisor and advisors to the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Members of the House of Commons and the House of Lords of the United Kingdom, Her Majesty's Marshal of the Diplomatic Corps, His Excellency Alastair Harrison, Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the British Army and Commandant of the Brigade of Gorkhas, Lieutenant General Sir Nicholas Pope, Distinguished Foreign Secretary of the Government of Nepal, Mr. Shankar Bairagi, His Excellency Mr. Khalid Al-Duwaisan, Dean of Diplomatic Corps of the United Kingdom, Their Excellencies the Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Their Excellencies the Mayors, Deputy Mayors and Councillors, Senior Official of the Government of the United Kingdom, representatives from the British organizations and institutions, representatives from the Nepalese diaspora in the United Kingdom, friends from the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, उपस्थित आदरणीय नेपाली दाजुभाइ तथा दिदीबहिनीहरू, नमस्कार and very good morning. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome the Right Honourable Prime Minister of Nepal, Mr. K.P. Sharma Oli, to this special ceremony organized in his honor. We, the Embassy family, are humbled to have the Right Honourable Prime Minister among us today. I would also like to welcome Madam Radhika Sakya, Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Gyawali, Chief Advisor and advisors to the Prime Minister, and all the distinguished members of the Prime Minister delegation. I also acknowledge the presence of the Minister of State for the Asia and the Pacific of the Government of the United Kingdom, Right Honourable Mark Field, in this ceremony. Thank you for accepting our invitation and joining us in this ceremony. I would like to welcome all of you to this program. Your presence means a lot to us, and more importantly, to Nepal-Britain friendship. Your Right Honourable, the friendly British people regard and respect you as an ardent champion of democracy, a strong advocate of human rights, and a constant defender of civil rights, not only at home, but also across the globe. Your Right Honourable, the friendly British people recognize and respect your outstanding political vision and mission, which have contributed a lot for the people of Nepal by shaping its peace process and by leading the drafting and promulgation of the Constitution of Nepal, and more importantly, the far-reaching impact of your vision and policies that have positive and progressive impact on transforming the lives of the Nepalese people with the long-term mission of materializing the goal of prosperous Nepal and happy Nepali. The friendly British people have recognized that you have not only led the historic political transformation of Nepal by drafting, promulgating, and implementing the democratic, inclusive, and rights-based constitution, but also have led the country through its transition from a unitary system of governance to a federal system. I'm very delighted to share with you all that the Right Honourable Prime Minister has made a keynote speech at the Oxford University at an event hosted by the esteemed Oxford University Union on 10th June. The Oxford University Union invited the Right Honourable Prime Minister by recognizing his long and distinguished political journey, particularly respecting his long-standing and unflinching commitment to peaceful struggle, human rights, and democratization of Nepal, with the restoration of multi-party parliamentary democracy, a republican state, and a federal structure of governance. I would mention with pride, Your Right Honourable Prime Minister, that the Oxford University Union has regarded and respected Prime Minister Right Honourable Mr. Oli as one of the most influential voices of the world stage today. Your Right Honourable, the United Kingdom is the first country in the world with which Nepal establishes diplomatic relations. It is also the first country to have established its embassy in Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal. Nepal's first diplomatic mission was also established in the United Kingdom in the year 1934. The United Kingdom occupies a very special place in the hearts of the Nepalese people. We also believe that the British people have a similar attachment with Nepal and the Nepalese people. It is also because the Nepalese and the British people have a strong faith in the shared principles and values such as peace, democracy, human rights, and freedom. Both Nepal and the United Kingdom are known for their rich cultures, traditions, and civilizations. Both the countries have bestowed natural and cultural gifts upon each other. Similarities such as these have brought us very close, and this closeness have spanned over more than 203 years. Despite distance of geography, the two countries share a lot of commonalities in terms of celebration of patriotism, bravery, and a sense of being bestowed with a civilization history. The friendly and mutually rewarding bilateral relationship between Nepal and the United Kingdom spans over more than 203 years. Ever since the establishment of diplomatic relations, both the countries have maintained excellent state of friendship with enhanced development cooperation and growing people-to-people relation. Tourism, trade, education, and the service of the Gorkhas remain the key dimension of Nepal-Britain relations. The United Kingdom is one of the biggest bilateral development partners contributing to Nepal's development efforts. British development cooperation to Nepal is on an increasing trend. We are also encouraged by the commitment of the British government to enhance its support and cooperation towards our post-earthquake reconstruction process. Many Nepalese people who were educated in the United Kingdom in the past are now at the helm of their respective sectors of expertise in Nepal, be it the field of administration, education, economics, engineering, information technology, medicine, and many others. The shared legacy of the Gorkhas is one of the strongest and most visible bonds between the two friendly countries. It is in this sense that the foundation of our relationship constitutes the history of service, sacrifice, and bravery of these Gorkha soldiers. Your Right Honorable, the government and people of Great Britain are supporting the Visit Nepal 2020 campaign and highlighting Nepal as a safe, secure, peaceful, beautiful, and a high-value tourist destination which they regard and respect as home of the Gorkhas, the bravest of the brave soldiers of the world, as well as the home of the magnificent and majestic mountains, and that of the happy, honest, and hospitable Nepalese people. Your Right Honorable, I am delighted to mention that the Nepalese diaspora, whose number is more than 100,000 in the United Kingdom, is active not only for promoting Nepalese language, culture, and customs, but also in establishing a vital link in our bilateral ties. The Nepalese community is now a fast-growing community in the United Kingdom. The Nepalese people are offering their presence in various social, cultural, and commercial fields and forums. Through their engagements in social, cultural, and commercial affairs in the United Kingdom, they have brought our two cultures and countries closer. Because of the United Kingdom's liberal policy of multiculturalism, the Nepalese people are enjoying as an integral part of the mainstream British society. The people of Nepalese origin have thus contributed a lot in the creation of a beautiful cultural mosaic of the United Kingdom. Your Right Honorable, the Embassy of Nepal, under my leadership, has started the organizing Nepal Development Conference series in London to support and complement the efforts of the government of Nepal in achieving the mission of making prosperous Nepal and happy Nepali. The first Nepal Development Conference, organized on the auspicious occasion of the Republic Day of Nepal in May 2018. We have also hosted 6 episodes of Nepal Development Conference focusing on bilateral cooperation, cultural, commercial, and economic relations, as well as on trade, tourism, and investment opportunities in Nepal. We are encouraging both the British and the Nepalese communities to expand trade and investment in Nepal, saying that the current atmosphere of peace, political stability, and liberal economic and trade policy regime are creating congenial environment for both trade and investment in the country, which would be instrumental for the sustained economic growth and sustainable development of Nepal. Among other things, our main objective is to project and promote Nepal as an ideal, promising, and favorable investment destination. Your Right Honorable, in fact, the exchange of high-level visits at different levels has contributed to further strengthening the cordial ties between our two countries. In particular, visits of British royal family members have played a vital role towards this aim. The Nepalese people warm-heartedly recall the historic state visits of Her Majesty the Queen to Nepal in 1961 and 1986. Her Majesty the Queen has long occupied a very special place in the hearts and minds of the Nepalese people. The visits of Prince of Wales to Nepal in 1986 and the visit of His Royal Highness Prince Harry in March 2016 have helped enhance the relationship between our two friendly countries and generate more goodwill and trust towards each other. Your Right Honorable, This visit is an official visit of a Nepali Prime Minister to the United Kingdom after 17 years. The Right Honourable Prime Minister had quite substantive meetings and engagements since his arrival in London. The Right Honourable Prime Minister had official talks with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Right Honourable Theresa May, and interacted with parliamentarians as well as with business communities, among others. I'm sure, Your Right Honourable, this visit will go a long way in strengthening the bilateral ties between Nepal and the United Kingdom. In fact, the exchange of high-level visits at different levels has contributed to further strengthening the cordial ties between our two countries. Before concluding, Your Right Honourable, I would like to state that there has not been a visit of sitting British Prime Minister to Nepal in our diplomatic relations of 203 years. It may now be an appropriate time to start preparation for an official visit of the British Prime Minister to Nepal. Your Right Honourable, I sincerely hope and believe that the present official visit of the Right Honourable Prime Minister would be instrumental and important to take Nepal-Britain relationship to a new height. I am confident that this historic visit will generate a new momentum to our friendly relations. Long live Nepal-Britain relations. Nepal Belait Sambandha Amar Rahoस्. I thank you all. Dhanyavad. Namaste.
I thank you, Your Excellency. May I now request Minister of State for Asia and the Pacific of the Government of the United Kingdom, Right Honourable Mark Field, for his speech.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, namaste. Good morning. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to express, on behalf of the British government, our very deep appreciation to Prime Minister Oli for coming to the United Kingdom. As was pointed out, he has had a very busy schedule, met up with the Prime Minister in Downing Street yesterday, went to Sandhurst yesterday. I know has had many other engagements with parliamentarians and with others with the Nepalese community. I also very much take on board the robust diplomatic message put by the Nepalese ambassador to try and ensure that we have a reciprocation for a British Prime Minister before too long. But sir, yours is the first official visit by a Nepalese Prime Minister to this country since 2002. Our countries do share a long and rich history, and I should perhaps say at a personal level, my late father was an army officer, an officer in the British Army of a Gurkha regiment, and I know he would have been immensely proud to think that I was here today in a political role, obviously recognising and embracing the wonderful relationship that applies between our two countries. We have enjoyed formal relations for over 2 centuries, I believe the longest formal relationship that Nepal enjoys with any country. And of course, that has meant we have faced difficult times together, whether through the immense and courageous contribution of the Gurkhas to the British military in wars and peacetime as well. And long may that tremendously important connection continue. But it also, of course, applies, as was alluded earlier, to the UK's support for Nepal following the devastating earthquake of 2015. And I saw with my own eyes when I was in Kathmandu and just beyond last year, the work that still goes on to try to regularise the situation for those citizens affected by it. Now, in that immediate aftermath, the UK was proud to provide practical support in the form of emergency shelter, warm clothes and bedding for more than 200,000 people. And together with over 2,000 hours of helicopter operations, it became a really important and indeed vital lifeline for those remote communities. To date, the UK has committed more than £83 million in support over 6 years to try to ensure that communities are rebuilt after the devastating impact of that earthquake. In addition to that official government figure, I know there were many individual donations of money, of time and effort, reflecting, I think, the very deep affection for Nepal amongst the British public, including the thriving Nepali diaspora. Now, as I say, when I visited the country a little over a year ago, I saw firsthand the reconstruction was 2/3 complete, thanks, of course, to the resilience of your people, Prime Minister, and their resourceful use of this support. The distinguished service of the Gurkhas and the earthquake relief are, of course, only two examples of how our nations work together for mutual benefit. There are many others. The British Council in Nepal has been building links between our young people for some 6 decades now, and even greater numbers of British tourists are keen to see every aspect of your beautiful country for themselves. 60,000 British tourists visited Nepal last year alone, and we hope this number will continue to rise year on year with the help of the Visit Nepal 2020 campaign. The UK is also a long-standing and committed development partner, and we are pleased to support the Investment Board of Nepal to ensure they make the most of that foreign investment. As you will know, Prime Minister, our development ethos is very much one of cooperation, and we welcome your commitment to prosperous Nepal, happy Nepali. The £90 million we spend in Nepal every year is dispersed in partnership with non-governmental organisations and your government. And our clear aim is to support the work not just to reduce poverty, but to create jobs and opportunities for the future and ensure that no one is left behind as Nepal becomes more prosperous. This, of course, is in line with the UK government's consistent effort to spread development and prosperity around the world. Strengthening those institutions that underpin prosperity, open and successful societies, is an essential element of that work. Prime Minister, the elections that brought you back into office in 2017 were an important step on Nepal's democratic journey. As your country continues down that path, I very much hope your government will nurture all the vital democratic institutions, including a free media, a strong civil society, and an independent judiciary that will help Nepal to flourish further going forward. I know I'm keeping you from your breakfast here, so let me just say a few words. Can I thank you, Prime Minister, once again for taking the trouble to visit the United Kingdom. The fact there are so many people here under this tarpaulin today, we were obviously hopeful about British weather, but you can never be too certain this time of the year. But so many folk here today shows the strength of the love and affection that so many Britons feel for your wonderful country. Your visit reflects the strengthening cooperation between us on matters as diverse as the illegal wildlife trade and women and girls' rights. In my own role as the Minister of State for Asia and the Pacific, I very much look forward to working closely with your government to build an ever brighter future for all of your citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Right Honourable Minister. I have the honour to request Prime Minister of Nepal, Right Honourable Mr. K.P. Sharma Oli, to address the ceremony.
Very, very good morning, everybody. Mr. Mark Field, State Minister of the United Kingdom, Honourable Prime Minister and other members of my delegation, Honourable members of British Parliament, Excellencies, distinguished guests, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the Ambassador and the State Minister who spoke before me, and he spoke everything, didn't left anything for me. I would like to thank the ambassador and embassy family for organizing and hosting this reception on the occasion of my visit to the United Kingdom. I am pleased to see many important personalities, friends and well-wishers of Nepal and fellow Nepali amongst us. Thank you for your presence, everybody. This means a lot for me and my delegation. We deeply treasure your goodwill and love towards Nepal and Nepali people. This is my maiden visit to the UK and the Prime Minister. This visit has taken place after a long gap of 1.5 decades or more. I have come with a special mission to further cement and consolidate our historical warm, close and cooperative relationship existing for last 203 years. I am confident that my meetings with Prime Minister May and other high-ranking authorities and the parliamentarians have helped further nurture our friendship. I had fruitful exchange of views on a range of issues of bilateral interest with Prime Minister May, and I am satisfied with the understanding we have reached. Our engagements, including my address to the Oxford Union, interaction with the business community, visit to the headquarters of Brigade of Gorkhas, interview with the BBC World Television Network, among others, were fruitful in sharing our experiences and exploring the ways and means to enhance our collaboration in the days to come. Dear friends, the United Kingdom is the oldest friend of Nepal, as already previous speakers mentioned and explained in details. Ever since the establishment of bilateral relations in 1816, our relations have continued to develop on the basis of friendship, goodwill and mutual understanding between the two countries. Gorkhas remain a vital link in our bilateral relations. Their service and sacrifices have nurtured the very foundation of our relations. Needless to say, Nepal attaches great importance to its relations with the United Kingdom. We remain thankful to all support and cooperation we have received from the UK in our development efforts. The UK support in our effort to establish a peaceful, stable, democratic and prosperous Nepal has remained instrumental. While the role of development cooperation remains an important facet of our relationship with the UK, our aim now is to build on this historic relationship and move forward with a renowned focus on all areas of mutual cooperation and in particular the economic partnership. We want to work towards expanding trade and investment linkages and scale up cooperation in areas of technology, tourism, education and people-to-people contacts. This is of crucial importance for us. It is because in Nepal we have engaged the political transition and achieved historic milestones, including through the instrumentalization of our political gains in our new constitution promulgated in 2015. Now the entire focus of the government is on socio-economic transformation. We are all bound by national aspiration of prosperous Nepal, happy Nepal. Our aim is to graduate from the LDC at an early date and achieve the status of middle income country by 2030. We know that to achieve this goal, we need to modernize agriculture, build infrastructure, tap energy, in particular the hydropower potentials, take benefit from the tourism potentials, and build human resources. Investment, both domestic and foreign, will be critical in this regard. This is why the special objective of my present visit is to invite our British friends to come access the business opportunities and invest in Nepal. This will be a win-win scenario for both of us. We will make profit and your investment will lead to the enhanced economic activities, helping attain our goal of socio-economic development. Dear friends, people-to-people relations between our two countries have remained excellent. The Nepali diaspora living in the UK has remained as an important connecting thread in our relations. Nepali diaspora is known for its unique capacity to adapt to the new situation with tremendous respect for local socio-cultural values and traditions. They make significant contributions to the political, social, and cultural aspects of the public life in whichever country they reside. Nepali community in the UK bears no exception of this. Its contributions towards promoting Nepal's national image and contributing to the development imperatives back home, including through the diaspora development nexus, is commendable. I am aware that there exists a tremendous amount of goodwill for Nepal and Nepali people in the UK. Nepali people too have high respect and love towards Britain and British people. Therefore, the goal that all of us must pursue is to nourish this bond of trust, goodwill, and love, which will ultimately enhance the friendly ties between our two countries, thereby widening and developing them for many more centuries to come. यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुभएका नेपाली साथीहरू र नेपाली बुझ्ने साथीहरू, ब्रिटिस साथीहरू पनि कतिपय जो नेपाली राम्ररी बोल्न जान्नुहुन्छ। हिजो पनि मैले हेरेँ गोर्खा ब्रिगेडमा जाँदाखेरि त्यहाँ अफिसरहरू नेपालीमा कुरा गरिरहनु भएको थियो, नेपालीमा हामीलाई ब्रिफिङ गरिरहनु भएको थियो। सबै साथीहरू, हाम्रा निम्ति हो खुसीको कुरा हो, गौरवको कुरा हो कि हामी, र मलाई अत्यन्त खुसी पनि लागेको छ कि हामी हाम्रो सबभन्दा पुरानो औपचारिक मित्र कहाँ आइपुगेका छौँ। र यो मित्रता, औपचारिक मित्रता 1816बाट सुरु भएको थियो, 203 वर्ष अगाडि। तर त्योभन्दा अझ 1 वर्ष अगाडिदेखि गोर्खाज अर्थात् नेपालीहरूले ब्रिटिस सेनामा काम गर्न थालिसकेका थिए र त्यसलाई अर्को सालबाट 16बाट औपचारिक कूटनीतिक सम्बन्धमा राखियो। अघि नै हाम्रो एम्बेसडरले भनिसक्नुभयो, हाम्रो सबभन्दा पहिले हामीले बाहिर कुनै देशमा एम्बेसी राख्यौँ भने त्यो युके थियो, बेलायत, यहाँ हामीले राखेका थियौँ। हाम्रो देशमा कुनै बाहिरी राजदूतावास बसेको थियो भने त्यो ब्रिटिस एम्बेसी थियो काठमाडौँमा। यसरी हाम्रो सम्बन्ध सबभन्दा पुरानो सम्बन्ध रहेको छ। धेरै पुरानो नै भयो, 203 वर्ष अगाडि। जति बेला कूटनीतिक सम्बन्धहरूको इतिहास आजको जस्तो अलिक ठिग्रिसकेका थिएन, तर त्यस बेलादेखि हामीले हाम्रा सम्बन्धहरूलाई बहुतै स्तरीय, मर्यादित र एक ढङ्गले भन्ने भने रुल बेस्ड सम्बन्धको रूपमा, औपचारिक रूपमा सुरु गरेका थियौँ। र आज हाम्रो सम्बन्ध बहुआयामिक ढङ्गले विभिन्न कोणमा बढेको छ। र ब्रिटेन अप्ठ्यारो परिस्थितिहरूमा पनि नेपालको साथी हो। त्यो कुरा 2015 को भूकम्पका बेला ब्रिटेनले हामीलाई पुर्याएको सहयोग जो अघि मेन्सन गरिसक्नु भएको छ एम्बेसडरले, अत्यन्तै महत्त्वपूर्ण छ। र हाम्रो नेपाली डायस्पोरा जो यहाँ बसिरहेको छ त्यसले योगदान गरेको कुरा मभन्दा अगाडिका वक्ताहरूले पनि भन्नुभयो। स्टेट मिनिस्टर himself mentioned about the contributions of the Nepali diaspora who is living in the United Kingdom. र म पनि त्यो दोहोऱ्याउन चाहन्छु हाम्रो डायस्पोराले। र मेरो आफ्नो वक्तव्यमा पनि मैले भनेको छु कि नेपालीहरू जहाँ पुग्छन् त्यहाँको हावा पानी, सभ्यता, संस्कृति आदि कुराहरूलाई त्योसँग मिलेर त्यहाँको रीतिरिवाज, स्थिति सबै कुरालाई सम्मान गरेर त्यसरी बसोबास गर्दछन्। त्यहाँका मान्छेहरूलाई घच्चा दिएर, पीडा दिएर बस्दैनन्। त्यहाँका मान्छेका सहयोगी भएर मिलेर बस्छन्। त्यो नेपालीहरूको विशेषता हो। र नेपालीहरू गोर्खाज अथवा अरू सिभिलियन्स जो जहाँ पुगेका छन् उनीहरूले नेपालको एउटा प्रभाव, प्रतिष्ठा र परिचय उज्यालो बनाएका छन्। नेपालीहरू वीर छन् भन्ने कुरा थाहा थियो। सबभन्दा पहिले थाहा पाउनु त सायद ब्रिटेनै होला। र ब्रिटिस गोर्खामा आइसकेपछि दुनियाँ नै थाहा पायो। कतिपय ठाउँमा ब्रिटिस गोर्खा आयो भनेपछि बन्दुक देख्दा नतर्सिनेहरू खुकुरी देख्दा तर्सिने। त्यो ब्रिटिस गोर्खाले बनाएको एउटा अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय छवि हो। र नेपाली जाति एउटा वीर जाति हो, कर्तव्यपरायण हो, आफ्नो कर्तव्यमा पछाडि हट्दैन, अनुशासित हो। त्यसकारण यो छवि ब्रिटिस गोर्खाले बनाएका छन्। I would like to highly appreciate and praise the role played by British Gurkhas in different times and in different parts of the world. त्यो ब्रिटिस गोर्खाले गरेका छन्। र अरू नेपाली दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरूलाई पनि म यस रिसेप्सनको सन्दर्भमा भन्न चाहन्छु, तपाईँहरूको बसाइ सुखमय होस्। तपाईँहरूले यहाँबाट सिप पनि सिक्ने हो। दुईवटा कुरा छ विदेशमा आउनुको अर्थ। एउटा ज्ञान आर्जन गर्नु, अर्को धन आर्जन गर्नु। ज्ञान आर्जन नगरिकन धन आर्जन हुँदैन। त्यसकारण मुख्य रूपमा चाहिँ ज्ञान आर्जन गर्ने, धन आर्जन गर्ने, यहाँबाट सिक्ने, अरू ठाउँबाट सिक्ने। सिक्ने कुरामा नेपालीहरू अगाडि नै थिए। अहिले बिचमा केही शताब्दी अलिकति बिग्रिएको छ। त्यसकारण म धेरै समय लिनभन्दा पनि सबैमा शुभकामना व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। र तपाईँहरूको यहाँको बसाइ नेपालीहरूको अत्यन्त सुखद रहोस्, सफल रहोस् र यहाँका कारोबारहरू टुङ्ग्याएर सकेसम्म छिटो देश फर्किनुहोस्। देश फर्किन भ्याउनभन्दा अगाडि नेपालीहरू जहाँ छन् देशलाई माया गर्छन्, नेपालको बारेमा बताउनुहोस्। र I would like to request the Minister for State of the UK to be sure and speak confidently wherever you get opportunity to speak or you have to deliver speeches then about Nepal and Nepali and the democratic process of Nepal. You can rely on. You can be sure we are over there. And the democratic process will go ahead. It will not go ahead. And our commitment for the economic development and to meet the national aspiration of prosperous Nepal, happy Nepali, we'll do that. So with confidence you can tell the people that the people, parties, government and the leaders of Nepal are committed towards this goal, to strengthen democracy in the real sense. So we are talking about comprehensive democracy, not the democracy only in the field of political freedoms, etc., or in the narrow sense of other issues, but political, economic, social, cultural, in all aspects. Will strengthen our democracy, will widen our democracy, will deepen our democracy and make the success as an example of the real, full-fledged, complete democracy of the people, democracy for the people, and democracy by the people. Thank you all. Thank you all.
I thank you, Your Right Honorable Prime Minister. We are now going to present some Nepalese cultural performance. First of all, I invite the artists of Sayapatri Cultural Group who are performing the dance in Nepali song Saythari Baja Eutai Tal.
Saythari Baja आउँछ त्यसैले फोटो खिच्छ अनि म निस्किनु
हिँडिरहने अवस्था छैन कि छिटो
छिटो रे
Thank you very much. I now invite the artist of the headquarters of Brigade of Gorkhas to perform popular Kukli dance, and this is the last of our today's cultural program. Thank you very much. I wish to inform you all the distinguished guests that the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal is leaving the venue. I would now request you all to rise to greet the Right Honorable Prime Minister. I request you all to join the breakfast and enjoy the typical Nepalese cuisine. Thank you very much.
एउटा साइन गर्नु पर्थ्यो यो जनरल युट्युब भन्नु सक्दैन